Welcome all of you to today's science class. As we are aware that Indian government is speeding up the process of distribution of vaccination to its people, we all are going to get this vaccination sooner or later. Therefore, in today's class, we will talk about vaccination. Vaccination simply means strengthening our immunity, and this process is known as immunization. Now, we all are aware what is immunity. It is a defensive mechanism of our body that prevents us getting diseases from any kind of foreign particles. The foreign particles such as bacteria, virus, fungus or any other pollutants, when they enter in our body, our immune system will be triggered and it will fight against these foreign particles, preventing us from getting any kind of diseases from these foreign particles. Unlike antibiotics, which is very much effective on diseases caused by bacteria, vaccination is very much effective on diseases caused by viruses. Now let us understand the history behind vaccination. It all started in 1896 in Berkeley, England, where a country doctor, namely Edward Jenner, he discovered that a milkmaid who was immune to the disease known as smallpox, which was sweeping across the country at the time. Later he discovered that this milkmaid was infected by another disease known as cowpox, which is very much similar to the smallpox. Then he took the infection of the cowpox and introduced that infection on the body of an 8-year-old boy. Later, this boy also was infected by cowpox, but interestingly, this boy was immune to smallpox. This is where the history of vaccination was begun. Now it is the time to understand how vaccination works in our body. In order to immunize a person, we have to introduce the vaccination before the person is affected by the disease. To vaccinate, we have to introduce inactive or killed viruses into the bloodstream. Due to the presence of a toxic substance known as antigen, which is present on the surface of the virus, as a response, our immune system will produce antibody, which can be used for destroying these viruses. Now this antibody will remain in our bloodstream, protecting us from the same kind of virus in the future. This is the basic principle of vaccination. Now let us understand how bacteria help the soil fertility to increase. In our earlier classes we have studied there are good bacteria and there are bad bacteria. Some of the good bacteria, which are known as nitrogen fixing bacteria, and these bacteria are symbiotic bacteria, which means they have to have a help of a plant to survive. They live on the body of the plant and they help the plant in return. And in that case, both the species or both the organisms, they benefit. Such organisms are known as symbiotic organisms. Now, what do these nitrogen fixing bacteria do? They absorb the atmospheric nitrogen, which is present in abundance in the nature. Now, this atmospheric nitrogen cannot be absorbed by the plants directly. The nitrogen fixing bacteria, they absorb this atmospheric nitrogen and they convert it into ammonia, another form of nitrogen. This ammonia is very easily absorbed from the soil by the plants. And in later stage, another bacteria known as nitrifying bacteria, they convert this ammonia into nitrogen back and send it to the nature again. Now, why plants require nitrogen? Nitrogen is required for the production of protein, which is the building block of any cell. Now, this is a protein that we or any other organisms consume from the plants and they get the protein. And it helps to build their body. Now therefore, we can say nitrogen fixing bacteria is very much essential for the soil to have nitrogen that helps the plants to develop and produce protein.